Information warfare is not something new, whether it's by cosmic design or deliberate sabotage, maybe a little bit of both. The information warfare exists for thousands of years. The human collective consciousness have to go through these lessons, be broken open to this level of toxicity or direct casualties because of the spiritual information warfare. For us to go through this great awakening to the external world, it is just as important, or if not more, for us to understand and release the level of toxicity we're carrying around in our body, mind, spirit somewhere, because unprocessed trauma is there hidden, buried, and it's going to come up at some time. This is uh, what is mean to heal ancestral trauma bodies. I know even 70, 80, 90 years ago, people have gone through enormous level of suffering all over the world, and their stories are uh, extremely daunting, and the second generation seem to have a little bit better, and the third generation is the same thing. Although what we see is the external comfort is very noticeable, but at the same time, the internal struggles continue because the human species, we do not know there is a possibility for us to open up and release some of these toxicity that we're carrying around because of the information warfare, because this is we're hurting because of something someone said, because someone did. These things go to a place personally. For example, I know I have gone through these kind of circumstances in my life in very youth, 7 years old, 10 years old, 20 years, 12 years old. You have been subject to these criticism, extreme criticism, usually from the people that's married into my family. You've gone through this thing. First few times I found it extremely hurtful and daunting, but after a few times, the cheeky self of mine, I decided to uh, in silence, I judge. I'm saying, okay, that you got that really wrong. You're really off the chart there. This is not uh, nearly accurate. So this was a kind of thing that I did to keep myself entertained, because I judge myself through other people's eyes, and I come to conclusion it is highly inaccurate. So it was a something broken open inside of me. I find that level of knowledge, wisdom comes with being able to understand it from a higher perspective. When you understand from a higher perspective, I mean your cosmic connection, your source God, higher self is have a better understanding and bird's eye view into the purpose of these circumstances. In the astrology, we say we circle around maybe 3 4 times the similar circumstances to find out if there's any residue left, so you can completely release it or completely adapt to these conclusions of what we come up with. So this is a example. For me, I had, because I live with the extended families, I find these people were uh, it's really not anyone else's responsibility to care for me, cater to my needs, although they're doing that. I've always felt like an outsider. It's not something I was told often, but the information warfare happening around me continuously, I gather this much. Everyone was, the information delivery was like some people had to like keep me on top of their head for like 24/7. Looking after a young person is a responsibility, but at the same time, um, lack of support, emotional, spiritual support is a really substantial burden to carry, because then you struggle to find your spot, find your way of life, because you're in a fear of losing. If you react to this appropriately, if you have opinion appropriately, you're going to be further isolated. So these are kind of situations one have to face because of the level of unhealed trauma bodies. When you are operating from a disconnected place, there is no logic, there is no fairness, there is no balance. Simply is toxicity that is getting built up. Um, when you know you have parents, my mother, uh, there's a time that you have these fantasies in your mind thinking, I had to go live with her, I had to leave the country, then everything is going to be okay and worked out. You're feeling that because of the fantasies you carry in your heart, your mind. You have expectation. Our own expectation is really not the delivery. This is another characteristic of information warfare. When they leave, you're like 2 years old. There's an enormous level of toxicity for that kind of disconnectedness to happen. Um, the infidelities, the lack of support, lack of respect, everything is lack. When you left from that kind of space, you have to move forward, but you're not really processing this information. This is a one example. When you do that, you just internalize something that is really toxic, something that is very painful to comprehend, yet you have to move forward, do everything right, because mistakes or challenging circumstances always happen to us because of uh, something that's deeply hidden within us had to be broken open and brought forward. This is exactly what ancestral trauma body is. If we haven't done that during number of years, it's going to show up sometime. If we haven't done that in this lifetime, it's going to show up another. This is what ancestral trauma body is all about. For understanding my own challenges, own lessons in depth, really helps you to move forward in a harmonious, balancing manner. When you have these kind of fantasies in your mind, what is the possibilities? Reconnecting, and fast forward a few years, I know that when you come and reconnect with these individuals that was disconnected before, things are going to improve. I mean, what can possibly go wrong with revisiting circumstances that was left unresolved, but the disconnectedness happened and you only seen them a few times. You have to start life again. What is your expectation is that everything is going to be perfect. We're going to make up for the last time. We're going to have happy, united circumstances. But in the delivery system, this is triggering these individuals. They are opening up a box, or you're just a reminder of something that was extremely traumatic and painful. You aren't really proud of that circumstances. So then you have this level of toxicity open, wide open, to navigate. It's a really eye-opening experience how the information warfare really affects our life, because it's the information that you store in your mind, body, spirit vessel. You have to, this is how it show up even years after, because we haven't released the level of toxicity. We haven't taken time to understand. We haven't taken time to learn these cosmic lessons, because every time you do, this is how healing happen. In order for us to be a part of a great awakening, you have to be awakened to something that's stored somewhere in your body that is extremely toxic. This is what healing is all about. There's no other way around. But for me, I'm someone who will never migrate to any country in my own. There's something completely off my radar. Never would have done it without having opportunity. But I remember very clearly, around maybe 7 years old, I read this storybook in North America, the Great Lakes, the snow. It's like a couple of pages of a storybook. I immediately put myself in this location. At the time, my imagination went wild with it, but it was just a big memory in my imagination. But who never know that you're going to go live in this place in the future self. You didn't know where your mother was. You didn't have any connection. Adults will never take that opportunity to educate you with the accurate information and have open discussion, because how can they? There, everything is shadowness. Everything is hidden. So then, these circumstances will shape your life, and but the cosmic, the source God have extreme high vision for the future. Something that registered in your mind is your future self. This is how you know that manifestation, the cosmic rules, the cosmic source God is ruler of everything. This is the glimpse you, a few years later, you know, you have discovered, you have meetings, you have a visit every now and then. You have you don't have a, you have like a fog memories, but you're unable to connect the dots how the cosmic laws work. But uh, at that time it was in your mind, it was given to you a vision, it was a character, it was a storybook, it's the imagination, but it's what's in the future life is going to be. That's how the cosmic law works. This is how you know that everything you do have a purpose, a higher purpose, and a creator is going to guide you through, although you didn't have any awareness. Same thing, you have to leave the location. In order to go to a foreign country, you have to go to a city, and maybe this is your life is going to take up and with another extended family. This is where you learn the biggest lessons, but the most important lesson is this extreme critical existence of exposed to a criticism by this woman was at the time. Few times later you get used to it, you think it's a normal way of existence, but um, you come to realize and connect all the dots. You are not manipulating these energies because you don't want to react, because then you're probably going to be farther isolated from the home, the only home that is available to you. So then you're manipulating energy. You're trying to protect yourself by uh, not being authentic to yourself. But the moment you stood up for yourself and no more of this level of respect is allowed, act appropriately, this is when things change. This is how you understand the cosmic reasons, cosmic guidance, cosmic support for your life, because you are here for a greater mission. But when you do the transition, you have expectation from a person that you were disconnected in your 2 years old. You have expectation, but what you walk into is a remaining residue of the level of toxicity that's happening. It's a reminder to them, also your opportunity for you to kind of heal and kind of understand what really has happened. But it's a school of life. These are never a wasteful things. This is how you get broken open, so you can release the burdens that you're carrying, because you're never good enough, because it's your fault, because there's absent of certain level of love and care, nurturing, so it is your fault. So you carry these burdens within you, but it was opportunity for you to release all of that burden and see things as exactly they are. This is what greater awakening is all about. This is what healing ancestral trauma body is all about. This is what healing and creating boundaries and healing is all about. But when someone is the meaningful migration is where you're needed to be. But for me, I have forgotten the level of toxicity I have gone through, the pain and the crying and the disappointment. All of this I had to return a few years later to make sure it is the right thing, because the second I came here, I felt like I had to go back. I am fantasizing again, visualizing all the things I'm missing. But when you make that return, you're really happy to see your family and everything. But in my case, I got signed up to a driving school or something like that. So there was a reason I was doing something productive there. But I have to. I was desperately trying to go back to nothing. There was a rented room and a bed and a table, and that was all I had. But it's still, I have desperately want to go back and return. um, this is how you decide where you belong, where you're needed, where your alignment is. This is what the meaningful migration is all about, where I'm mostly needed, where I need have that time and space where I can call home and establish something. This is how you navigate these complicated energetic alignment with. So for me, having the most of the time, what I really crave all my life is to have time and space, are disconnected from the people, the unhealed trauma bodies. Although I love people, I just wanted a break from all of that. This is what you get. But until you completely understand lessons, until you completely resolve these internal stuff, you can't really move forward. Literally, you are debilitated with pain body. You sleep and you just barely hanging on, barely doing your task. So this is what you see. um, Information warfare has done to human collective consciousness. We never know what causes for you to internalize some of the pain body, and great awakening to external world is important, but the great awakening to your own progress is the most important for human species to survive in this information warfare. The clarity has to happen. It can only happen by releasing the level of toxicity, releasing the ancestral trauma body, releasing inner child trauma or toxicity, understanding about the parents and the extended family and their role to bring forward these trauma bodies, characteristics of trauma body. This is how you able to release. So they were painful experience, but these lessons have to happen in order for you to open yourself up to a greater awakening. This is how we collectively recognize level of toxicity. Now, without discussing what happened last few years ago come to our health, there were division, but what we really have to pay attention is the establishments, the governments, governing systems around the world. They weren't bickering anymore. They were all collective with forcing or manipulating you into a some products which we have no recollection of any kind of informed consent, any kind of side effects, what is the long term. They were not even up for discussion. So this is how information warfare affects the decision making. Can only happen from a place of awareness. Another question that prominent is, if you're all blocking all of your energy, how can a system survive if you're putting a halt into your energy? But when you're in a connected place, when you're connected to your source, higher self, God, Heavenly Father, your your information, your energy is given uh, consciously. It's a conscious awareness. You're coming from a healed position, so the energy still goes. It's not a wasteful energy. It's not a contaminated energy. It's a clean energy. So this is the difference between blocking your energy and exuding the light body energy. This is how we differentiate. When it's something contaminated, it's not a clean energy anymore. So if you are saying a group of people now, division happens among the human species because they are pro and another one says no. The one who says no have a critical thinking. They have activated practical, logical, critical thinking. They have activated to see things as exactly they are, so the level of clarity. The other thing is they have gained that confidence by creating healthy boundaries. So they have now understand you can create healthy boundaries. We don't know what's the repercussions because we tend to lose a lot, but you're going to lose anyway. But this is not for you to concern about because you're making decisions from clarity. Regardless of the outcome, you are maintaining the integrity of your mind, body, spirit vessel. So by making appropriate decision, I can dress up like a bumblebee and a sunflower, go out there into the world, but I am not a sunflower or bumblebee. I am a divine feminine. So then you have to know that in the core what you are. So when you have a confusion about your standing, your lessons, and you're so easily put things in your divine vessel, your temple, to abuse it. You haven't done the work. You haven't navigated how to nurture it. You can put anything so effortlessly, no questions asked, no, don't know the long-term effects. You don't know how it's an informed consent. You're just doing it. So this is how you come to conclusion of critical thinking. And you find out critical thinking is not optional. It is how you protect your mind, body, spirit, vessel. These are like the little bit of housekeeping tips for us to release some of the burdens that we carry. So the great awakening to yourself, your existence, your truth. If you want to do that in private, that's fine. People do not have to be humiliated and open up about all the darkness that we have gone through to get here. But the human spirit is really charming and sweetest thing. You can recognize that even if the most toxic trauma bodies, there is a glimpse into these people, a kind of sweetness, kind of compassion, kind of love. It's only momentarily because the cosmic energies, Heavenly Father makes sure to show you a different side, but is prominently stuck in your mind is mostly sad things, negative things, scary things. That's what is stuck in your body and mind. But it doesn't mean that there was no glimpse of humanity there, collectiveness there, nurturing there. So it's always there, but it's not the main lessons. The lessons are the negative parts of ourselves, to move us forward through this clean energy. This is what a great awakening is all about. This is how I maintain my life. When you think you've done all the work, you're all happy, you can just start crying because you can't sleep and somebody had a motorcycle going loud sound. So this, you never know where it's all stored. You don't know when it's going to show up. But nevertheless, you can find a level of lightness in your existence because you have released some of the toxicity that is stored in your mind, body, and spirit. Hopefully these tools are going to help at least get you thinking. The other thing that you have to pay attention is the system designed for you to never have a moment to think. Being alone, having time to think is sort of like a bad thing. It's like, oh no, you're not allowed to have weekends come. You have to create all kinds of activities outside of yourself so that you have less time to think and proceed. This is why the enormous level of warfare against you having the ability to think. The other thing, speaking about politics and religion in the dinner table is a bad idea. Who said that? It's the fear of coming to different conclusions. Few people have different opinions about politics or religion or spirituality, so it's not promoted. 8 billion people in the world have never make a decision to get together at a dinner or in the evening while having tea to have a discussion about, hey, why are you so sad? Hey, why are you so angry? What bothers you? Why are you grinding your teeth? Why you have a permanent expression of anger? People aren't even comfortable to have these kind of conversations. Some of the some of the extended family, they're very polite, very charming people. They never gather talk about anything important. Like talking is sort of like a scary thing. This is why we have to develop dialogue. It doesn't matter if we have million words and a fancy vocabulary. If you don't have a proper dialogue that transition into something different, none of these things are important. This is the key things that we have to pay attention. So hopefully this is gonna help, and just find that level of toxicity you're carrying around because it's a burden, and release it. This is the Great Awakening. Thank you.